Hello everybody, let's get started. Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Ham Shack TV. I'm your host, Josh, A4WX. Appreciate you being here. We haven't done a live stream in quite a long time, so I'm really glad to be on here with you guys tonight. Just sit down and relax, talk a little bit of Dayton. We'll do a little FT8, and talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. We got a couple in the chat already. Mark's in the house. Mind if I sit? Please do. Take your shoes off, get comfortable. And Chavez, KJ5HHT is in the house. Welcome. Appreciate you being here. If anybody else is here, go ahead and jump in the chat. Let me know who's all watching, where you're from, your call sign, all that good stuff, if you're a ham, that kind of thing. So we've got a lot of cool stuff coming up, y'all. Did a video earlier today. I've been gone for a few days. Had oral surgery, had a tooth pulled up here that's been bothering me for a while. We're glad we got that taken care of. And let me pull my mic out a little bit further there so y'all can hear me better. Got a tooth pulled, so we've been dealing with a little bit of pain from that, but not too terribly bad. Shout out to Dr. Napier. Did a real fine job on it. Chavez is asking, when is Huntsville? Well, Huntsville, if you look at the very bottom of the screen here, you see my Ham Shack TV tour fueled by Ham Radio Prep and World Radio League. Scrolling there at the bottom. Huntsville is August 16th and 17th. So, not too far away. Zeph is in the house. KFO, it's KF0, I should say. QXW technician. Welcome in, Zeph. Appreciate you being there. Got Mark here as well. Mark was earlier asking if he could sit, and it sounds like he's made himself comfortable. November 6th, Mike India November from Northern Nevada. Very interesting. Actually made it to Nevada for the first time myself this past summer. Went to Las Vegas on a business trip. So that was in the middle of June, and it was 117 degrees. No, thank you, but I'm sure Northern Nevada is a little bit cooler than that. Patrick Sullivan's in the house. Nice Irish name there. Hello from Central Illinois. Kilo Charlie 9, Charlie Alpha Oscar. Appreciate you being here. Anybody else in the chat, we'll shout you out. Go ahead and jump in the chat. Let me know who you are, where you at, that kind of thing. The big question for the chat is going to be, and Zeph says he's in Colorado. Fantastic. Not made it to Colorado. I guess I've flown over Colorado, maybe. No, I don't think I was that far north, come to think of it. I've been out west twice. I went once to Los Angeles a couple of years ago, and then to Las Vegas last year. Love to visit Colorado sometime. It's the way I understand it, Colorado is like the Tennessee of the West. And for those of you that are new here, I'm based out of the Knoxville, Tennessee area. So really cool stuff. I'd love to visit sometime. So we're going to do a little FT8 while we sit here and just chat for a little while. Going to be, let's see, we're set on 10 meters at the moment. So we will go ahead and jump up. It is 9:13 my time. Let me take a look at where the gray line is. So this is Ham Radio Deluxe. I use this for some of my basic logging. Looks like the gray line is across the plains, and most of Europe is still at nighttime, in Africa and South America and that kind of thing. So we're probably going to be better off from 30 to 40 meters. We'll jump up to, I can't believe I'm getting so many hits at 10 meters this time of night. Let's grab this Australian station, see if we can get him. So anyway, and I'll make myself a little bit smaller here. There you go. Now y'all can see the screen a little bit better. Chavez says, I'm in Texas, north of Houston. My Truckingham in northern Indiana heading to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for Monday. Fantastic. Love hearing about the Truckinghams. Get y'all off of 11 meters and up on the real people's band. So anyway, let's talk about Dayton. Dayton, Ohio is the next stop on the Ham Shack TV Hamfest tour, fueled by Ham Radio Prep and World Radio League. And we're looking forward to it. We're about 3 weeks away. Well, they're not about. We are 3 weeks away. I'm leaving to go up there 3 weeks from yesterday. 3 weeks from yesterday. So we're under 3 weeks away for me at this point. So really looking forward to it. I've spoke to several friends and got some vendor friends that are going to be there. Chat Radio, Jim's going to be there. We might have Jim on the show here before Dayton. So I look forward to it, and I hope I can get Jim in with us. That would be really exciting to have him aboard. He's really class act. And there goes the Roomba behind me talking. Wouldn't be a live stream, would it, folks? All right, got Australia coming in here. Victor Kilo 2 Lima Alpha Whiskey. Got him on a 15. Or let's see, I sent him a -9. He got me on a -15, so not a bad connection with Australia on 10 meters. I don't think I've worked Australia on 10 meters. That's fantastic. So guys, jump in the chat. If you're planning on going to Dayton, let me know. Let me know for sure. I know that I am intending on going. I'm going up on Thursday, and I won't come back until Sunday. We'll do some live streams, and there'll be plenty of content through that week. I know I'm working with Andy to try to schedule a live stream, or maybe not a live stream, but a video with him. They're going to be at Hamvention. Of course, you know that World Radio League and Ham Radio Prep are owned by the same folks, so they'll be representing each other there at Hamvention. So we'll be talking with Andy and seeing what all the new dealings are with that as well. Had a nice gentleman today reach out to me by the name of Dick. They've got some sort of a communications vehicle they're going to have on display up there in Dayton. So we're excited about that. I'll go ahead and put myself back up here a little bit. Nothing to really see at this point on the log. Just calling CQ. So yeah. Let's see here. Chavez says, is there 18-wheeler parking at Dayton? That is a very, very good question. And I don't know the answer to that. Let's do this here. Stand by. I'm sure they can find you a place. Whether it's on the fairgrounds or not is a hard question. Alright, so 2 weeks and 6 days away from Hamvention. Let's see. Frequently asked questions. So no drones. Inherent risk for COVID-19. Yes, we're still doing that 5 years later. See your parking information. I have a motorcycle. Where do I park? No. If it rains, parking area is all mud. Will there be what parking will be available at the show? Where do I go if parking's full? Here we go. Here's your answer, Chavez. If I bring a tour bus, or I'm bringing a tour bus, heavy truck, or camper, where can I park? So, large vehicle long-term parking will be accommodated on a paved parking area in the rear of the parking field. Take the Fairground Road to Purcell Avenue, then right on to Alameda Drive, enter Gate 5, and park where directed in the paved area. So there you go. There you go. You got your place to go. That's exciting. So several of you now joining the chat or joining the show. Appreciate y'all being here. Welcome to Ham Shack TV. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Guys, we've got an HF radio giveaway in progress. We're still quite a ways from doing it. The deal is once we hit 10,000 subscribers, we're going to give away an HF rig. You have to do 3 things in order to qualify to win. One, you have to subscribe to the YouTube channel, which if you're watching me, unless the one person that's watching on Facebook isn't already, you have to subscribe on YouTube. Second thing you have to do is you have to join the Discord. Links down in the description to join the Discord. And third is you have to sign up for the mailing list. Now, I don't sell your information or anything like that, and I will not spam you. You might get an email once a week at most from me. And the way you join that mailing list is you go to hamshacktv.com about 3/4 of the way down the page. Matter of fact, we'll show you here. I don't know if it's going to load. And 10 meters is crapping out on us. Try the other one. If you cannot get Ham Shack TV, actually something's up with the web browser here. Let's try this again. There it is. All right, hamshacktv.com. You scroll, and here's all the links you need right here. Visit the YouTube channel, click on that, hit subscribe. Join the Discord community, follow the directions. Easy. And then you scroll down the page, and you'll see my ugly mug next to the Santa Monica Pier. And right below that, you'll see, join my email list for giveaways and special news and events. You just type in your email address and good to go. So make sure you go do that. Otherwise, you will not qualify for the drawing. I don't know what HF radio I'm giving away yet, but we're going to do it. So the sooner we get to 10,000 subscribers, the sooner we do have that giveaway. Now, with that said, y'all can help us hit that 10,000. Share out this live stream. Get your club friends and your ham buddies and all them on board. Get them watching. Get them subscribed and all that good stuff. Let's move on up to 20 meters and see what we got on 20 meters. Get tuned up. There we go. Pretty easy. And look at our waterfall on 20 meters. We're going to go ahead and set up shop right there around 1200 megahertz or 1200 hertz. And boy, look at it coming in here. Let's go ahead and grab grease if we can. Several of you watching, appreciate you joining. If you're just now joining the stream, go ahead and jump in the chat. Let us know who's watching, where you at. If you're a ham, let me know your call sign, all that good stuff. And guys, if you're wanting to support the channel, we certainly could use your support. This channel does not run on its own by any stretch of the imagination. We need your support. There's Grease right away. Sent him a -15. He sent me a -7. So great. Really good contact there. There's other ways to do it. Down in the description, you see all kinds of links. We have an Amazon link. You click on that. You don't have to do anything else. Anything you do on Amazon, we'll get credit for, and that certainly helps the channel. We have the super chats down below. You can, if you feel like doing a super chat or a channel membership, those are available. You can hit the little flashing icon next to the chat box, or you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button. That certainly helps the channel as well, and all that good stuff. Got some other ways. Maybe you're looking for a good way to mount a radio in your vehicle. Well, I've got a great partner for that, and that's Lido Radio Mounts. Down in the description, you should see a link for Lido Radio Mounts. You do not. Give me a minute, and I'll give you a link for the Lido Radio Mounts. I love Lido's equipment, y'all. I just love it. It's outstanding equipment. Super versatile, super easy to install. I think you're going to love Lido Radio Mounts. Let me see here if I can grab this link. There it is. And if you use my coupon code on the website for Lido Radio Mounts, you get 10% off. So very, very easy and nice. There's the link right there in the chat. Just sent it to y'all. Appreciate that. And if you're into Meshtastic, we got Meshtastic stuff going on. There's a link down in the description for that. Spec 5 is fantastic. They sent me a lot of cool stuff to check out. And you can see other videos that we've shared in the past on there. Let's see here. Why we keep sending RR73 is beyond me for this Greek station, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and get it moved. Ham Radio Prep. Can't say enough about Ham Radio Prep. They're great. If you may be watching and thinking about getting your ham radio license, there's no better way to get your start with that than hamradioprep.com. And you use my coupon code HamShackTV, get 10% off. They're already great prices. Can't forget about Better Safe Radio. Maybe you're a GMRS user. Well, they've got the Wax-On radios. I call them Wax-On. Some people call them Oshing. They do fantastic stuff. BetterSafeRadio.com. They're down in the description too. So enough of the commercials here. I know some people are dropping out because of the commercials, but I always want to throw out those options if you feel so inclined to support the channel. Got 13 watching on YouTube right now, 2 watching on Facebook. Appreciate you guys being here. Look here. Here's POTA Power. We still need to get together. Sharing Ham Shack TV to POTA Power. Appreciate that, guys. You can do that too. Anybody else can do that. So make sure you share out the link. Let's get as many people subscribing as we can. That way we can give that radio away. I'm excited about it. 10,000 subscribers, and let me see where we are right now on the subscriber count. We are at 7,157, so we got about 2,800 more subscribers to get to before we give that radio away, but we're getting there, slowly but surely. Really excited about it. Don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm not going to name any models either. Y'all know when I know. But we're pretty excited about giving that away. Been talking, let's talk about Dayton. Speaking of Dayton, POTA Power, y'all going to Dayton? If so, we need to hook up while we're up there. That was a wrong word to use, not hook up. We need to get together. And do a collab or maybe a POTA activation or something if y'all are going to Dayton. That'd be awesome. Anyway, starting to make plans for Dayton. I told y'all earlier I am leaving for Dayton 3 weeks from yesterday, so we're excited about that. I found out tonight that this wasn't planned by any stretch of the imagination, but another fellow ham radio YouTuber, 250 pounds of Yesu, you've seen him out here on the channel before. We're actually staying in the same hotel. We didn't plan it that way, but we have actually landed the same hotel. So we're excited about that. You'll get to see him on the channel, I'm sure, when we get up there. But been talking to him, been talking to Jason, KC5HWB Ham Radio 2.0. A lot of hangouts and collaborations and things like that coming. POTA Power says they're going to be there. Let's y'all send me an email. You know my email address. Send me an email, and I'll give you all my cell phone number, and we'll text. Let's get together while we're up there. Anyway, been talking to Jason. There's going to be an opportunity. I don't know if it's public or not, but we're going to get together, all the YouTubers and some other folks, hang out, that kind of thing, on Saturday night, it sounds like. I am hearing, or rather, I've been invited by Jason, Ham Radio 2.0, will be Jason's going to be hosting a live stream in the coming days, probably a week or so before Dayton. All the ham radio YouTubers getting together talking about Dayton. So we're excited about that. Jason has invited me to be a guest on his channel that night, and I greatly appreciate that. We're looking forward to being a part of that. And if you're not already subscribed to Ham Radio 2.0, which I think the majority of you are, go do that. Jason has outstanding information on his channel. That's part. Jason's really the reason I decided to do this, to do Ham Shack TV. So appreciate him for that. But we're looking forward to getting together. I'm sure Tank Radio will be on there. Probably Josh Kasich, NAZ. He will be there, I'm sure. K5YBY. I think he'll be there. Sure, we'll have all the usual suspects here. Here we go. We got an FT8 contact coming in. Let's see what we got here. KC1IIO. KC1IIO. Got him on a minus 13. We'll see what his report back is. Let's see here. N3 WER is in the house. 1000D kilowatts of ham radio. Check my QRZ. Cool. FT8, oh my God, no way. Let's see here. 715 subs. Yep, that's where we're at. We're slowly climbing. Talking about tank radio as well. Awesome. Got him on a minus 8. So good contact there. Go ahead and get ready to TX on the next one. And we'll come back here to the 2-shot. So, yeah, we're just hanging out doing some FT8, that kind of thing. So, that's the general plan. Now, I have a personal mission while I'm in Dayton. I don't get to Ohio very often, right? I mean, I think I've only been in the state of Ohio one time, maybe twice. Twice. Or once. I think it's only been once. I've driven through Cincinnati. That's about it. So this is all new to me. Got another FT8 contact coming in. Here we go. We've got W1BW. Got him on a minus 5. Chavez says coffee and ham radio guys. Is that who I'm marking? Not sure. I'm not, some folks have talked to me about coffee and ham radio, and I'm not familiar with them. I've not watched their stuff. I need to, but my goodness, I got enough to watch. He's got me on a +2. Very good signal. Very good signal. Awesome. Coming in from Maine. So fantastic. So yeah. Anyway, back to my mission. My personal mission when I am in Dayton is I have got to go to Skyline Chili. I have got to go try the Skyline Chili. Everybody talks about it. You either love it or hate it, and I've got to try it just to make my own judgment on it. So, planning on doing that maybe Thursday night when I get up there. So I'm leaving Thursday, 3 weeks from yesterday, and then I'll be there all the way through the event. I'll come home Sunday evening. WTF Radio. Nice play on words there. Howdy. Appreciate you being there. N3WER Ham Radio Elmer says the Villages, Florida never did FT8 or even FT4. And we got another contact coming in here. Getting nice contacts here. KJ5 HTG. Got him on minus 10. So anyway, yeah, FT8, it's it's a watering hole, man. This is, if you're looking to make contacts and get awards, FT8 is the way to go. It really is. You can crack out some dang contacts in a hurry. You certainly can here. Let's see here. N3WER is telling WTF to send a hat. That'd be cool. All right, got that guy in the books. We've got WB5AEE coming in here. Got a minus 15 on him. Saying sporting a hat soon. We all love hats, Them radio folks, we love hats. So if you're new here, guys, thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Certainly supports the channel and appreciate that. And the more subscribers we get, the sooner we get to giving away this HF radio. Guys, I'd love to do it before Dayton. I don't think we're going to get there that quick, though. WP5AEE gives me a minus 15. R73. He's out of Texas. Cool. Cool. The KJ5HTG that we just worked did not come back with any information, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. WTF says, yeah, I found out the greatness of FT8 a few weeks ago, so now I need to buy more stuff for my 891. Well, let me tell you, the beauty part, and I'm not trying to sell you on a new rig by any stretch of the imagination, but the beauty part about the IC7300, the IC705, the FT991, the FT710, both field and AESS versions, the FT8X10, all these new radios, especially the ones that have touchscreen waterfalls, most of them have a built-in sound card. And you don't need to buy the Signal Link or anything like that with it. So keep that in mind. If you got a little extra money in your jingle in your pocket, then that would be good. Chavez says, I want to put an 891 and an ATAS on my big truck. You know, the ATASs interest me. They're very, very cool antenna. I myself, I'm an ICOM guy now. Ooh, there we go. Got another one coming here. VE3 INB. Got a minus 13 on him. We'll see what he comes back. I was an Icon or a Yaesu guy. I really was. I was dripping in Yaesu. I had a let's see here. What did I have? I had an FTM 200 in the truck. I had a FT3D HT. What else have I had? I had a 3200 at one point. I had he got me in a minus 0, so a perfect 0, so that's great. Go ahead and tee it up for the next one. And I had a 991 I had a 991 here at the house. Great radios, don't get me wrong. I don't have anything against Yaesu except for one thing. Their menuing system is a nightmare. It's a nightmare. So, at Huntsville last year, and I see K4HSM is texting me on the super secret squirrel text line here, but he's too afraid to show his face in the chat. Come on, Greg. Anyway, he's telling me ICOM sucks. But I'll tell you, here's the deal. At Huntsville last year, I had a buddy of mine. I can't remember Jonathan's call sign off the top of my head. I'm running a blank. KC8 CPW, that's his call sign. He had a item on the table, on my table that I was consigning for him. It was a ICOM ID50A. And I just picked it up and started playing with it, and I ended up buying it from him. And it was fun. I played with it. Then I wanted better. So I turned around and sold it again at the Hamfest. I actually took a bath by $25 on it, but that's fine. So I ended up buying the 52A. And I actually bought it from Jim at Chat Radio. And anyway, I played with it and got to where I really loved it. And I said, okay, well, I want to try an ICOM mobile. So I found me a 5100 and put it in the truck, in which I still run 5100 here in the house. You can see it hanging up right there. Okay. Why did I feel like I had to move the camera is beyond me. See if I can get the camera back where it was. There we go. And anyway, loved it. Loved it. Started playing with D-Star. Loved D-Star. It's a lot of fun. That kind of thing. So I ended up buying another one. One for the house, one for the truck. As a matter of fact, here's the head for the truck. The rest of the radio's out in the box in the garage. So anyway, I actually had my buddy KK4PAL, Bill, Ham Radio Unleashed. Go follow him on YouTube. He's got a great channel as well. He offered me a trade. A straight trade for he wanted my 710, my Yaesu 710. And in exchange, he gave me a 7300, an ICOM 7300. And it was fun. I fell in love with this radio. This is what I'm running right here. You can see it in the screen. This 7100 or 7300 is phenomenal to operate. The way the menus operate and everything, it is just beyond easy to operate. Everything's easy to find, that kind of thing. The pros outweigh the cons by a long shot. And then recently I decided I was going to start playing around with HF Mobile. Took that 5100 out of my truck, and now I have a 7100 in my truck. So we're having fun. Nothing wrong with Yaesu. I'm not trying to offend any Yaesu folks out there, but they're a lot of fun. Let's go back here and check the chat. A lot of folks are here. Julie, 1/2 of POTA Power in the house. Dayton, yes, let's do something. We're going to do something. I'll look for that email from you. Radio says, I was out with Prep Ham Paul with a 7300, and it is beautiful. Indeed, it is. Chavez says, I have a Radiolity QT60. That's just 10 meters with a 10-meter ham stick. Does okay, but it want more bands. Remind me, Chavez, are you just a tech, or you got your general or extra ticket? Julie says, hello to WTF. WTF says, if you have any Yaesu that is compatible with the ATAS, get it. I agree with that. Absolutely. The ATAS is phenomenal, especially for mobile, with a Yaesu rig. N3WER says, WPF rocks email if you need help. Got some greetings being exchanged. Julie says, we live. I believe that's supposed to be Love Icon. Absolutely. Chavez says, from a base radio at home, I want a 710 field. Nothing wrong with that. I had a 710 field. I'm just going to be completely transparent about the 710. So, a lot of people argue back and forth whether to get the 710 AESS or to get the 710 field. And frankly, I just found out the Braves are about to play. Frankly, no offense to Tank, but frankly, when I operate HF, 9 times out of 10, I have my cans on. So that speaker is not going to help me at all. And what I have heard of that speaker, I can't tell a big difference, other than the fact that it's facing me, which I can buy a $10 external speaker on Amazon and cover that, not have to spend the extra $100 on the AESS. They claim it's good, like surround sound, but I'm just not seeing it. Got W6EEN stroke P. Let's see here. Had him on a -16. He gave me an equal rating, or a even rating, so that's fantastic. So yeah, go with the field. Save yourself $100 and spend that $100 somewhere else. Maybe a super chat. Just a thought. Kidding. Let's see here. Julie says, well, live, love, whatever, LOL, absolutely. Radio says, Julie, howdy, ma'am. Sorry, didn't realize this was POTA Power, Julie. Absolutely. We love our POTA Power for sure. N3WER says, giving a HF UV 5K Alenco 70T. Not familiar with either one of those. I need to look at those. Let's see here. Chavez says, General, cool. You do have a few more privileges, so that's good. Extra class just makes you not have to watch your band plan. Frankly, if you ask me, you're not gaining that much, but bragging rights, and you don't have to stare at your band plan as much. Julie says, ICOM all the way. Good people. I knew I liked y'all for a reason. N3WER, same radio 710 field or not. And Chavez says, I'm looking to get a Heil headset too. So, Heil is great. I have nothing bad to say about Heil. Let me show you something though. I think you'll be surprised at this. So before I got into doing Ham Shack TV, I dabbled in the States. And I would sell at Huntsville and different things. And so I acquired this out of I acquired this out of one of the estates I've worked. And look right here. It's a Quack Shack Pro 100. Got a little potentiometer here on the side to control it. These work great. I love these headphones, and I guarantee you they didn't cost what a Heil headset did. Not saying Heil's bad by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just a little bit more wise with my money. Heil's cool if you've got the money for that, especially if you can get the little either a foot pedal. I'm looking at my feet like y'all can see my feet. You can get the foot pedal or the little hand trigger thing. Those are cool. You know, if that's what you're into, no problem, and so be it. Go for it. Poda says 710 menus are a pain. Speaker sounds plastic. I don't know about the plastic part, but yes, the menus are a pain. And WTF Radio says, oh, those will last a while. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Got another contact coming in here on FT8. We got W7QQF. Minus 10 on him. So, anyway, that's my story. That's how I got to where I am. The talk about the 7100 in the truck. So, y'all can go back and look at the video from the Raleigh Ham Fest. Not the whole video. There's a separate video. I actually purchased a mobile antenna for the 7100. QQF gives me a -9, so not bad. Go ahead and let that clear out, and we'll switch back here. I purchased an HF antenna, and Outbacker, I think is what it's called, and I got it from Ook. I don't know if you guys in the South probably know who Ook is. OOC's Attic. Pretty good price on it. I could have got it cheaper on Amazon, but it is what it is. And that antenna's really cool. Go back and check out the video on it. Basically, it's got like a ham stick, but it's got a telescoping stinger on it. Whip, stinger, whatever you want to call it. And then it's got jumpers. And wherever you place the jumper, that correlates to what band you're on. And then you also take the little Allen key and adjust your whip for whatever height you need for your the band that you want to be on. And I got to tell y'all, I love that little antenna. That's fantastic. I lost my Allen key, but I can go to Home Depot and get another Allen key. That's easy enough. Right now I've got it tuned for 20 meters. So we've done a couple of POTA activations, just playing with it, that kind of thing. But we'll be definitely using it when we go to Dayton here in a couple of weeks. Ham Radio Elmer says, POTA girl is an ICOM girl. Agreed. And we got a new one here. Veritas Weasel is in the house. Would you recommend buying an ICOM 705 and an amplifier to push it up past 10 watts? No. And I want to experiment with this a little bit, because that is a great question. Let's look up Ham Radio Outlet. Actually, you know what? I do business with DX Engineering more than I do Ham Radio Outlet. Don't have an affiliate deal with either one of those companies. Would love one if you're watching, but I don't. Let's look at the 705. All right, so we're talking $1,400 for a QRP rig. I have a hard time with this price point. I do. And guys, y'all may be more knowledgeable in the comments about this than I am. So we got HF 50, 144, and 430. I all know D-Star. This thing does the same thing that not quite. It almost does the same things that a 7300 does, with one exception. 7300 does not do VHF or UHF. But the 7100 does, but the 7100 doesn't have this pretty waterfall. So, would I spend this much money on it? Considering you're going to buy an amplifier with it too, no, I wouldn't. Veritas, how much is the amplifier you're looking at? that would certainly play into consideration. Ham Radio Elmer says Hermes is better, and also 400 HL plus 2 and amp $200. Okay, I can't see it. I can't see it. Not to have, I mean, get you a 7100. Those are small form factors. They're not that expensive. Get you a 7100 and play with that kind of thing. That is much, 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 much more affordable than having a, why would you want to add an amplifier to it? So let's go, POTA Power has a suggestion. Let's go look at something here. Amazon. I cannot type. And guys, make sure if you use Amazon for anything, you use my affiliate link down below. That certainly helps. And I didn't even think to look. Does the 705 even have a tuner built in? If it does, it certainly ain't worth it. Zygu 125. Okay. See what we got here. Oh, this is the amplifier. No. There's no way in the world I'd get that 705. No way in the world. I'm a utility user. I mean, okay, I get, Veritas says, I want all the features of the 705 and an all-bander with more wattage for use of for POTA. 7100. ICOM 7100. Let me show you what the 7100 goes. Yes, you're not going to have the fancy display. Yeah, and especially if you're going to have to add a tuner and an amplifier, you're talking spending over $2,000 on this radio. I don't see it. I just don't see it. ICOM 7100. We also getting some work here. AE1G. Great. Let me clear this with him and we're going to go look. 7100 is what I run in the truck, and I love it. I love it. All right, we'll go ahead and mark that one done. So this is high. This is quite high for a 7100. You can find them a lot cheaper. I think I only gave like $700 for my 7100. But this is an outstanding looking rig. And thanks for the advice there, POTA Power. I'm going to have to talk to Ray Novak about that when I see him up at Dayton. But yeah, you do have a touchscreen gray display, so no waterfall, anything like that. This radio does 100 watts. The only extra thing that you would need to buy is a tuner, and you can buy a little LDG Z100 Z something like that. You can buy those for about $100. So even if you wanted to go and purchase it for $1,350, you're out the door for at least for the radio and the tuner for about $1,500. Now you still need an antenna, but I mean you can spend as little or as much as you want on an antenna. So that's where that stands. This is the route I would go. Let's see here. AE1 is Spain. Was that Spain? No. That is the United States call sign. AE1 was Stephen Henry in Massachusetts. Got KC9RIK on the line here. POTA says it is in the works. That will be cool. I'll talk to Ray Novak about that, see if I can get some information. Spend your money on the FT8X10. Okay, so the FT8X10 is a great radio. Do not get me wrong on this. This is not a radio for POTA, though, if you ask me. If you want small, compact, and portability, this is not the radio for that. For your home rig, absolutely. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with that. Here's what this looks like. Plus, it's a $1,700 radio. I don't know Does it do VHF and UHF? No, HF and 6 meters. If you want the VHF and UHF, the FT8X10 is not the way to go. Great radio for your home. For me, I don't like my HF and VHF and UHF all on the same radio. I want to be able to operate both at the same time. That said, all right, got that guy. Moving on to the next one. 710 would be 710 is just as good of a radio. I mean, the Sherwood rating is just a tick smaller than the FTDX10, and that's frankly that's the way to go. 710, you're going to save probably $500. Let me show you what the 710 looks like. So this is the AESS model, although he's showing you the field model. That's interesting. They show you a picture of the field, but this is AES, or they show you a picture of field, but it's an AESS model. But, small compact rig. It's maybe a touch smaller than my 7300. It's a fine rig. And then WTF Radio says, I'd say a 991. 991's a great rig. That is certainly a shack in the box, and it also does fusion. I mean, this is what I cut my teeth on with HF. Here's why I wanted out of the 991. This display quality. How do I compare this? The 991 display quality is like looking at Windows 95 versus like Windows XP. The color is just different. The waterfall is a much more responsive, faster waterfall on the 710. Not to mention the 710 is cheaper than the 991. The thing about the 991 is it does have VHF, UHF, and fusion in it. That's the advantage of it. Let's see here. WER says 991 bad on AM, but if you don't do AM, nice radio. I've never done AM, so I couldn't tell you. Joe WB9 VBH, my neighbor right up the street, says loves his 710. It's a great radio. Great radio. If I hadn't ever fell into the deal I did with Bill, I probably would still be using my 710. KW5CW 07. -07 and a -16. We'll see if I get a Roger 73 on here. Veritas says, I was thinking 991A, but it's old tech. I really want a portable all-bander with waterfall digital features. So, if you can live without the waterfall, go 7100 for the short term. Wait until you see if ICOM comes out with a replacement of the 7100 with the color waterfall. I'm going to be honest with you. The waterfall's nice. It's not what it's all made up to be. If you were a hunter and you're just scrolling the bands, yes, it's helpful. But it's not something you need to live or die by. It's something... it's a nice feature to have. C4FM is good. Yes, C4FM is good. I will say this, though. I think C4FM is my least favorite digital mode. I've played with Fusion C4FM before. I think the audio quality is slightly better on DMR, but leaps and bounds better on D-Star. I feel nice on... I have less problems copying a conversation on D-Star. Adventures in Blind Videography. Thanks for being here. Shane in Arkansas, AJ5 SJ. Wish I had not traded my 991 away, but as a blind op, I could not use it because of the touchscreen. I like the 7100 for its size. Yes, great. Now, here's the beautiful thing about the 7100. If you are visually impaired, let me take the camera full here. All right, so here is my 7100. See this button right here? It's hard to see because it's dark. Let's see here. See, it says speech. I can push that button and the radio will talk to me and tell me what frequency I'm on. That's what's beautiful about that. I love it. I love it. I have several friends in the ham world that are visually impaired, and that certainly comes in handy for them. Hey, let's not look at my chest. Let's look at me. And let's not be tilted. It's hard to get the camera back where it is. Radio says that's my 7300. Yes, that is my 7300. We got another call here. This is CE2EP. Where's that at? Chile. Got a minus 13 from him and received him a minus 10, so not bad. From Chile. We are on 30 meters now as well, if y'all are looking for me. Rico Pangado. All right, we can switch over to the CQ. Let's see, we've got a Georgia station. I don't know if I've ever worked Georgia before. It's lit up purple, so. I said it was my 7100. Give me a break. It is not my 7100. It is my 7300. That's all right. I've got a 7100 in the truck. 7300 in the house. So a lot of new folks in the chat or in the watching the stream. Appreciate you being here. If you haven't already, jumped in the chat. Let me know who you are, where you at, what you watching, or what your call sign is, all that good stuff. And we've been talking about Dayton Hamvention. Dayton Hamvention's coming up 3 weeks from now. Let me know if you're planning on coming to Dayton. Had 105 views on the stream so far, so that's very nice. And guys, if you're just tuning in, let me remind you, there are certainly numerous ways to support the channel. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can do so with a super chat down below. You see a little flashing green light. That certainly helps the channel. You can join the channel memberships and get shout outs. Got 2 channel members now. We need to do better on that. 2 channel members. One is Soul Studios. He's been a member since I've been able to do channel memberships. Appreciate Soul Studios. We also got Berwin. I never can remember Berwin's last name, so shout out to those guys. You can join the channel for as little as $2.99 a month, and that certainly helps the channel. It's not free to operate a ham radio channel by any stretch of the imagination. And it's not free to go to Dayton and cover it for you guys. I'm not going up there for my sake. I'm going up there to cover it for you guys, get you some video. Also, all the affiliate links down in the description. We've got Lido, we've got Amazon, we've got Ham Radio Prep, we've got Better Safe Radio, we've got Spec 5. Check them out. Looky there. Shout out to Adventures in Blind Videography for the $4.99 super chat, buddy. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. And I will say this: anybody that we'll leave Adventures up there for a minute. Anybody that does a super chat, you are going to get recognized 100%. So we certainly appreciate our channel members and our super chats for sure. So anyway, all those great companies I work with. Spec 5, if you're into the Meshtastic thing, which I've been really diving into Meshtastic lately, love it. Spec 5's got some great stuff. If you're not a solderer or a tinkerer, you know, they've got little cool devices like this little guy here. This is the Spectra. I can't remember what it's called. But it's a little cell phone with a Meshtastic device on the back of it. They've got Palm Pilots out there that look like, no, not Palm Pilots, Blackberries. They call them the Ranger. Those are fantastic. I've got a solar node up outside, and then we've got a little, another little device here. Let me show you this. This is literally my favorite thing. My favorite thing that Spec 5 has sent me. Let me show y'all. This is a Trekker Delta. I am the first person in the United States outside of Spec 5 to have one of these. And y'all, this thing is phenomenal. It works so well. So well. But if you're not familiar with what Meshtastic is, off message or off-grid text messaging. Simple as that. You don't have to be attached to a cell phone. You don't have to be, good Lord, look at all these stations here. You don't have to be licensed. You don't have to use the internet. It's all off-grid. And why is it off-grid? Because it uses 915 megahertz. 915 megahertz. You don't have to have a license for it or anything. So it's really cool. I will say this about 915, though. It is very dependent on topography. Let's see if we can grab Alaska here. It's very dependent on topography, so you might have to try some different stuff. My solar node helps me out a lot, and my solar node is about 25 feet up. N3WER says not going to Dayton, but we'll be watching. Dennis, hello Dennis, welcome in. WD2DWS from New York. I run a 7100 with a little Tar Heel and my Jeep Wrangler. I have been very curious about the little Tar Heel. No. Yes. Baby Tar Heel. Maybe it is a little Tar Heel. Either way, I actually talked to the Tar Heel guys when I was in Raleigh a few weeks ago. We might try that out at some point. We're trying to work a deal together. But, yeah, 7100 is great, and Tar Heel works great for it, too. Adventure says, just got my Trekker Delta because you recommended Stack 5. Fantastic. Guys, if you're into the Mesh-tastic, use my link down in the description. I think you're going to enjoy it. And like I said, the beautiful thing about the Spec 5 devices is there is little to no, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't have to put it together. It's pretty much here. About all I did with this device is I put the antenna on it. The only thing that I had to put together was the solar node, and that was pretty easy. I just had to open up the box. I got Alaska there. Very, very nice. Chavez has got to run. Have a good one. Thanks for streaming, sir. Appreciate it. The only reason I had to put together the solar node is you cannot ship the battery in working order, right? It's dangerous. It has two 18650 batteries in it, and had to open that up and plug in a little 2-prong thing, easy, and then just assemble the solar node itself. So really easy. That thing's about 25 foot up. Otherwise, everything you get from Spec 5 is already pre-assembled and ready to go out of the box. You might have to charge it, but it's what it is. Let's move on down the chat here. Dennis89WM. Dennis from Illinois is in the house. First time watching. Thank you for being there. I need to get some cool little sound effects and crap to do when people say they're new here. Maybe one day. N3WER says no Discord. Is the Discord link not in the description? Let me know if it's not in the description. If it's not, I'll get it put in there. If not, go to hamshacktv.com and you'll see the link to the Discord right there. It's right there in the middle of the screen. Blue box. Radio says I talked to Spec 5 at Belton a few weeks ago. Definitely some cool stuff. Absolutely. I love Spec 5. Adventure says K8 MRD did a great little comparison between the little Tar Heel and the ATAS. And we already got to Chavez, so we're all caught up on the chats here. We've just been calling CQ. I did get the Alaska station a minute ago. That's Scott Alstrom. That's interesting. Alaska County, but he's showing up Wyoming. He's got a KLO call. Let's see. QRZ. KL0MT. Oh, bull. Why can you never remember me? Wanderer's in the house, waving a hand. Appreciate you being here, Wanderer. Cheyenne, Wyoming. So not technically Alaska. Too bad. Too bad. Wyoming's a good contact, though. WB5RIX is coming in now. We got a -3 on him. We'll see what he gives me. So been going about an hour here, y'all. Appreciate everybody joining and hanging out here on a Friday night. Y'all can do a whole lot of stuff on a Friday night, but y'all are so lame you're sitting here watching a live stream with me, pushing buttons on the radio. I'm just teasing, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. We're not going anywhere. We're going to hang out while y'all want to sit here and yak. Veritas says, thanks for the information, Josh. I appreciate it. Anytime. I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination. But, we try. If I don't know the information, I'm going to go find it out for you. I've got people in my back pocket that know all kinds of stuff. Let's get rid of this guy's map. How about that? That I can find out information from if it's something I don't know. Adventure says, you're worth it, man. Appreciate that. And Teddy Tanetti Boyd, I'm sure I screwed that up. Hello from Tennessee, WA4TED. Appreciate you being here. All right, so we got a +8 from the feller, WB5RIX. That's Charles Pete in Texas. All right, guys, while this calls CQ, I'm going to run to the little technician's room. I will be right back. I'll let y'all watch the screen in real time. I should be back in like a minute. Well, I didn't lose anybody. I'm impressed by that. Actually, I gained one. Appreciate you being there. Wanderer says, been looking at getting ham, been on CB for years. I do have my GMRS license and still learning it. All right, so here's what I want you to do, Wanderer. Go to, I don't know what I didn't mute. Oh, well. I want you to go to hamradioprep.com and use my coupon code HamShackTV. That is going to be your easiest way to learn what you need to do to get your technician license. Hamradioprep.com, use HamShackTV, get you 10% off. I think you'll be able to pass. Matter of fact, they are so confident that you will pass that technician exam on your first try, they give you a money-back guarantee. If you don't pass it, they're going to give you your money back. So go check out Ham Radio Prep. Adventure says, I love this channel so much because, like coffee and ham radios, folks, a blind operator can feel very comfortable here. Well, appreciate that. We try to be welcoming to all hams, and it's just, that's just what we try to do. Ham radio. All right. So like so many communities, ham radio has its bad apples, it just is what it is. Some people call them sad hams, some call them lids. The fact of the matter is, we're in a community together of like-minded interests for the most part, right? So, it's important to make friends and that kind of thing. I think everybody in this hobby should be cordial to each other. That kind of thing. I know I've said a lot of bad stuff about the ARRL as of late, and a lot of folks in the comments have gotten upset with me over that, and that's fine. You're welcome to have your opinions on your own, but here's the deal. I look at, the folks that watch Ham Shack TV, the folks that are loyal here, that are subscribers and that kind of thing, I owe it to them. I give them what I feel. And frankly, let's go see if we can get this Saudi Arabia station. I don't think I've ever worked Saudi Arabia. I'm going to tell y'all what I think and the honest truth of what I think. And I'm going to try to save you money in the meantime. And frankly, I'm just not seeing it out of the ARRL anymore. I'm not. And I'm not going to beat this dead horse again on this stream. There's no sense in it. But, those that might have gotten upset with me, I'm sorry. Yeah, but, you're welcome to your opinion. I'm welcome to mine. I just don't see what they're doing for the hobby anymore except for padding the board's pockets. I just don't. People say, oh, they're out in Washington doing stuff. What? What exactly are they doing? Show me some concrete evidence of what they're doing these days. Radio says, I agree with the lack of the ARRL. Absolutely. Certainly. Now you should be hearing me. Are you hearing me now? Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear me now? Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. I say a yep, and then I say we can't hear you. Can you hear me? Yes or no? Okay, I got a text from one person saying yes. Zeph says yes. All right, we're back. I don't know what happened there. I think my USB cord came unhooked or something like that. I don't know. Sorry about that. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Somebody was mentioning ham radio prep or ham study, and yes. Shut up, Greg. I wish y'all could see the conversation with Greg in the background. Actually, they are seeing Greg because it's popping up right here. Anyway, all right. So the thing with ham study is, yes, it's free. That's the best part of it. And we picked up another station here. Let's see what we got. Mexico, 4 Alpha 1 Romeo Bravo Mike, +4. Fantastic. Great call. Yes, hi chat. Yesu sucks. Or Yesu rocks. Does it? Anyway, ham study is free. That's the only good benefit to it. If you are looking, here's the thing. If you want the app for ham study on your phone, yeah, it's $3. Outside of that, you can use the web browser for ham study. Here's the thing, though. You're not really learning the material if you use ham study. you're learning enough to pass the test, which is fine. That's all the FCC asks you to do, right? However, if you want to learn the right way and learn the why behind the answers, see, here's the thing, and I work in higher education, right? I don't claim to be a teacher or anything like that. Here is the deal. When you learn something the right way, you learn the why behind the answers, it's more likely to stick. So if you're sitting there in the VE exam session and you are stuck on a question, but you only used ham study, that's because you just learned a Q&A, right? You just tried to memorize the answers, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to have more of a chance of passing that test if you have the foundation, the why this answer is this, right? So I understand if you're trying to get in the hobby the cheap way, and that's fine. You know, if you want to get into it the cheap way, that's fine. I don't have no issue with that. Again, that's how I got my extra class. You know, I used ham study, but ham radio prep really is, it's like taking a college course. Like it's so well put together. Let's go back and check. Wanderer says, I have the all access license passed through ham radio prep. Fantastic. Adventure says, I've been a VE for the AWRL for about 25 years. I have no idea if W5YI will even allow blind ham operators. A lot of hams don't want us in their organizations. If that's the case, you don't need to be in their organization, if I'm being completely honest. That's discrimination. It's technically illegal. I can see why there would be a little bit of hesitation there, honestly, but it's not right for them just to send you on your way. You know, that's not cool. Let's go ahead and grab WA2HIP. I've worked him a million times, but we'll go ahead and grab him since he's calling me. So yeah, you don't need to be a part. If somebody is judging you based off of your vision impairment, you don't need to be a part of their organization. That's a bunch of sad hams that need to go pound CW or something. Nothing wrong with CW. Don't be offended, guys. But if I remember correctly, during the W5Y accreditation process, I don't think it asks you anything about vision impairments or anything like that. So if you have a certain way of being able to adjudicate these particular tests, go for it. See if they'd let you do it. And I'll be honest, I may have a lot of hatred towards the AWRL, but I have way more AWRL sessions under my belt as a VE than it's like not even close. I have well over 300 sessions under my belt with them. And I like the way their process works. You know, it's pretty easy. And most of my exams I do are online. When I do exams, I haven't done them in a long time, but we do them through Zoom. You have to have two devices, that kind of thing. It can be a little bit of a pain in the butt to try to do that through Zoom, but we do it. Adventure says, I am going to check with W5YI here locally and see what they say. I think I can get in touch with the local VEC. If you've got a W5 VEC team lead or whatever they call them in your area, go for it. See what you think. All right, guys, have we bled the well dry in 20 meters? Well, there's whales. See if we can grab this Cuba station. Charlie Mike 8, Charlie Fox. A lot of you been in here for a while. Appreciate you being here. Wanderer says, what is VE? I don't know any of the talk. Okay, VE is volunteer examiner. So 20, 30 years ago, something like that, they quit giving the ham radio license test directly by the FCC. So when you go to take your test, you will not be going to the FCC to take the test. You will be going to a VE group. And so VE group typically consists, minimally consists of 3 VEs. You have to have 3 people witness you take your exam, and they have to sign off on it. And those VEs will take your license and submit it up to the VEC, which would be W5YI or the ARRL or Westcars or GARG or somebody like that, and then they will in turn send it to the FCC. It's not optional. It's the only way to get your license. The VEC is Volunteer Examiner Coordinator, so they are the bigger guys. They are the league. They are W5YI, so on and so forth. Ukraine. See if we can grab Ukraine. EM7IARU. So yeah. Whatever questions you have, Wanderer, feel free to reach out anytime. I'm happy to help you. Let's see here. Wanderer says, do you think of joining a club? Clubs are hit and miss. Okay, there are some clubs out there that are full of a bunch of sad hams, OMs. OM stands for old men. Curmudgeon guys just really don't want any youth in the hobby. There are some clubs out there, but there are a lot of clubs like my club here locally, the Smoky Mountain Amateur Radio Club, that are welcoming to new hams, that want to foster that excitement and that love for the hobby. We're going to move up to 40 meters, y'all. Actually, let's go to 30 first. Get tuned up. All right, we're tuned. So yeah, just fill clubs out. You know, find a club that's welcoming. That's the biggest thing. You certainly need that. Veritas says I'm an extra class. Why is this not working anymore? Oh, my chats aren't working anymore. All right. Hopefully I don't lose y'all. Stand by. And we're back. I don't know what happened. Some of my stuff quit working. For whatever reason. There you go. Veritas says, I'm an extra class. What are the requirements of being a VE? So your easiest path to becoming a VE is through the ARRL, if you ask me. So the ARRL will ask you to take, I think it's a 30-question open book test. The key there is open book, right? So you want to take you can take that 30-question open book test and send all your paperwork, your application, your license, all that to the FCC, or not the FCC, sorry, the ARRL. About 2 or 3 weeks later, you will get your credentials in the mail. ARRL is just the easiest. Now, the good thing is the vast majority of the VECs out there, they're reciprocal. So if you have your ARRL accreditation, you'll also, it'll be as simple as filling out an application for Westcars, for GARG, for WSJT-X, something like that. So start with the ARRL and just send it around from there. Let's see here. Adventure says, I'm lucky here in Conway. Does that be Conway, South Carolina? We have at least 3 awesome clubs in the local area. That's great. Wanderer says, clubs are a great way to help you get licensed and move through the hobby. Do not let one club spoil you from the hobby. If nothing else, you have YouTube. And frankly, YouTube is that's a great analogy. I've never thought about that, but YouTube is like a club, especially with Jason and Josh and me and K8MRD, KM4ACK, all these guys. You know, we're all a great team. We may not see eye to eye on everything, but you know, our audiences are like a club. It's kind of cool. And absolutely, radio is correct. Do not let one club spoil you. Do not. Spoil the hobby anyway. Like I said, just be wary. There are some clubs out there that are crap. Bunch of old men that don't have any interest moving forward. You'll find one that works for you. I'm sure of that. Wanderer says, I live in Ohio. I'm going to Dayton Hamvention. It'll be my first ever Hamvention. Well, mine too. So if you see me walking around with this camera in my hand, the one I'm talking to you on, and you'll probably see me with a shirt like this, or the blue shirts that's got the Hamfest tour on it, walk up to me and say howdy. Let me know who you are, that kind of thing. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. It is my first trip to Dayton, so I'm pretty excited about that too. 15 years in the hobby, and this is my first trip, so that's kind of crazy. KJ5FWC, minus 17 from him, plus 11. Wow, plus 11. He's in Texas too. Wow, good contact. Let's see here. Adventure says the process is a little different from organization to organization. I agree with Josh. Go with AWRL to get started. The others accept AWRL VEs. Usually that is. Zeph says, is there any more word about the FCC's delete? I don't think that process is closed yet. I have not heard anything about it. And guys, if you don't know, I'm an anchor for This Week in Amateur Radio. So that's a weekly podcast. You can get it on any of your podcast apps, but it's the longest running amateur radio newscast. I have not seen any news stories about them come across my desk lately with the delete. The AWRL did file a response to it. We'll see. But I'll keep you in the loop if I find out anything else about it. Adventure says Arkansas. Okay, it's either South Carolina or Arkansas typically. Wanderer says I live in Dayton. Forgot to say that. That's cool. I'm excited. There's a place that I'm going to be trying out up there, the Troll Bar or the Troll Pub. Heard good things about that. We're going to check that out. Adventure says, sorry, but I forgot about Conway, South Carolina. I'm in Central Arkansas. I got you. Adventure says, my YouTube channel is Adventures and Vine Videography. Not much ham stuff there just yet. Been afraid to do that as a blind ham. I'm about to change that. You know what? That is a testimony story right there. You should totally do a YouTube channel. You know, if nothing else, to help expose the hobby for folks that may be afraid to get into it because of a vision impairment. There's so much you can do in this hobby without being able to see, especially CW. You know, if you can get into CW, that could be a game changer for you. And voice too. I mean, yeah, go for it. I think you would be a unique type of channel that we have not seen yet. Wanderer says, radio thanks. Cool. Y'all, we just blown this chat up tonight. It's been phenomenal. Got 19 watching on YouTube and 5 watching on Facebook. Appreciate y'all being here. Facebook, folks, if you haven't ever been to the Ham Shack TV YouTube channel, please go over there and hit that subscribe button. It certainly helps the channel out. We certainly appreciate it. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that. There's 3 of them. WW9ZZZZ. What a call sign. Let me let y'all see that up close. WB9ZZZ. What a call sign. That's awesome. Go over to YouTube, get subscribed, make sure you're there. And also while you're on YouTube, if you guys feel generous and want to help support the channel, I did not mean to do that. Make sure you hit the super chat button down below. All super chats get read and get recognized and stay on the screen for a little while. Adventures in Blind Videography certainly supported the channel earlier, and all that is basically a tip jar, so to speak. So if you want to support the channel that way, we also have channel memberships available as low as $2.99 a month. Certainly helps the channel there as well. We've got affiliate links down in the description. Got Ham Radio Prep. We've got not World Radio League. We work with them, but we don't have an affiliate with them. Ham Radio Prep. We've got why am I running a blank? Better Safe Radio. You got Lido radio mounts, got Spec 5. We've been talking about this Trekker Delta earlier. So if you're into the mesh stuff, I've got you covered. Amazon, if you need anything from Amazon, check out my Amazon link. That certainly helps the channel too. Adventure says, that's what I thought. Planning to do it for sure. Great. And then WTF says, I met a guy this past week that is vision impaired and runs a few nets on Kansas City wide on Fusion. Opened my eyes a bunch. Oh yeah. We've got a we've got a gentleman that helps us out with Skywarn that is vision impaired. I've never really sat down with him to understand what he does and how he does it, but he helps with our Skywarn nets being visually impaired. So shout out to Jack, WX4ID. Known Jack. Jack's one of the first people I ever talked to when I got my license back in 2010. He's a cool dude. Wonder is asking, so what am I doing with all that on my screen? Okay, so let's talk about this, and I'll take myself off the screen. Well, I'll make myself smaller. How about that? So this is called an FT8. So this is a digital mode. You can't hear it, but it is currently transmitting audio signals out on 30 meters. The frequency is 10.136.00. And basically, my computer is talking to somebody else's computer without internet. This is all RF, right? Completely RF driven. And so this program is called JTDX. It's a derivative of WSJT-X. I just prefer this software better, but most folks use WSJT-X. On the right side, this is everything that I'm transmitting or is coming across on the particular frequency part that I'm on. So, and I'm probably not describing this right, but the frequency part is measured in hertz, right? Looky there, there's N3WD. You're in here, aren't you? No, that's wrong one. Oh well. N3WD is coming in. So if it's in red, they're talking to me. If it's green, I'm talking to them. Green with white letters. That's this. On the left side, this is everybody that is transmitting on the band right now. And how this works is it's time synced. Basically with the atomic clock, right? WWV, I think is what they call that. But what it's doing is, this is somebody asking. CQ means they're wanting to talk. In the ham radio world, they send my call first, then their call, and then their message. So yeah, cool stuff. The colors just mean all kinds of different things. The pinks and purples are typically folks that I've never talked to before, or countries that I've never talked to before. On the right hand side, this is just a waterfall of it, so I can see where the signals are. Like, there's a little bit of transmissions going on right here. So we want to be careful that we're not interfering with another station. And then down here, this is just my logbook. So with the FT8, I use Ham Radio Deluxe. World Radio League is out there and does FT8. I prefer to use World Radio League for POTA. I feel like it's just the easiest way to do it with POTA. And then you can see some other countries that are coming in with Finland, Iceland, Sweden, Russia. It's European Russia and Poland. Plenty of USA stations. So yeah, I hope that explains some stuff. If you're curious about other things, let me know. Zeph says, in my experience, there's not one that no one wants to help new hams, and most of the bigger radio channels do give you all information. Yes, and there are bigger channels than me by any stretch. If you're new to the ham radio world, go check out my buddy's Ham Radio Prep. Boy, I just want to sell Ham Radio Prep tonight, don't I? Ham Radio Crash Course and Ham Radio 2.0. Those are two of my favorite channels. Pretty much the inspiration of why Ham Shack TV began. Those are the two biggest ones that I want you to follow. There's several others, though. Several others. Let's see here. WTF says, Zeph, that definitely not an absolute case, and I'm sorry you found the old sad hams. That's not the case all the time. Absolutely. Check out Prep Ham Paul too. Not familiar with Prep Ham Paul. I need to go check out his channel here. Let's see if we can get this Iceland station. It's a little bit of a weak signal, minus 20. I'm going to bring myself a little closer here. You know what? We're going to clean up this banner a little bit while we're sitting here talking, because it's a bit of a mess. Almost done here. There you go. That's a lot more pretty. Got some other folks here. Some more chats here. Prep Ham Paul in Texas. He's awesome. Also KB9VBR. I've heard of KB9VBR. Wanderer says, okay, so I'm looking at a Yaesu FT8 91 100 watts. HF 50 all mode transceiver only because I want to use it for mobile and base. Is that a starter? It's a good starter. It's a good starter. You will need a tuner for that though. So make sure you think about that. They look like the price is appealing at first, but yeah, when you have to start adding a tuner and an antenna and that kind of stuff, yeah, you might want to think twice about it. What radio am I using now? Veritas Weasel says it is the IC7300 from ICOM. Radio says Paul is live Sunday nights at 8:30 Central after Jason. I'm usually around there too. I gotta go check him out. Adventure says there are several more. Just do a search for amateur radio and you'll be off to the races. That's right. So Wanderer asks, a tuner for what? So with HF, you will need a radio, or you will need an antenna tuner, which that's not even their correct term for it, but that's what they've called it for years. It's an antenna match. Okay, so a lot of radios have them built in. Some do not, though, especially the older rigs, and the more compact rigs don't have a tuner in them. But basically what that does is it finds the most compatible match for the antenna that you're running versus what band / frequency you're operating on. So, and when I mean match, is the SWR. You will need a you do not want to run. You want to run as low SWR as you can, preferably anything 2 to 1 or under. Because if you're running 2 to 1 SWR, about 50% of your power is going back into your radio, and you do that long enough, you're going to fry the finals in a radio. So, tuners are very important. Some radios have them, some don't. My 7300 does have one. My 7100 in the truck does not have one. So I have an LDG Z100 in line with it. Adventure says, I love the 891, also the ICOM 75, but again, no tuner. These are better for portable use. Only the base station types have tuners except for the venerable G90, which is a Zygu. Radio says unless you have an ATAS. Okay, so let's talk about the ATAS because I'm a little disconnected with the Yaesu stuff these days. Do you need why would you not need a tuner for the 891 if it does not have a tuner built in? Just because you have an ATAS, how does that work? That's a good question. Adventure says you get different sizes of antenna matcher. Some are better for portable, others are not. Yeah, there's some antenna tuners that are about that thick. Some of them are that thick. These are a couple battery boxes I've got sitting here. Others are quite large. Some of them are about that big. Some of them can be as big as a radio. So, if you're wanting portable, you want to go as small form factor as you can. For me, especially if you use an ICOM radio, I love the LDG Z100s. That power goes directly into the radio, so you don't have to run more power in your car or your vehicle. N7MJ, working him now, Jack Mitchell in Arizona. All right, Wanderer says, I seen a video that he said the 891 had a tuner in it. I also been looking at the Yaesu motorized mobile antenna, 40 meters, 70 through 60, 40 through 70, the ATAS 120. Yes, it is motorized. It's a simpler version of a Tar Heel, I guess you might say. But no, the 891 does not have a tuner. 991 does. The 891 does not. Radio says the antenna and radio will match to the band you are on automatically. Is that because it's motorized? W0EAY -9. N3WE, boy, I'm getting tired, I can't read, says 891 is almost junk. Tell me why. Don't just critique it, give me a reason why it's junk. And the reason I want to be like that is because we got a new ham trying to come into the hobby here, so we want to give him sound advice, not just preferences, so to speak. Look here, we got Greece and Sweden coming. Adventure says ATAS 120 is motorized. Yaesu radios such as the 891 support and others support this antenna through their own internal abilities. I want to know more. I want to know about about how it functions. 891 has excellent receiver and good noise floor. I will say that about Yaesu radios. The noise, the receivers are fantastic. Do really good. Two response, no tune, and limited. I need more than that. No tuner, obviously, and limited. What is it limited to? The ATAS gets its connection from the radio. In theory, this would allow for better matching. It seems similar to the setup I've got, except I've got that LDG Z100 in line with it. But it's a 4-pin connector that goes into the back of the 7100. Radio says, Wanderer, I would not recommend the 899 for a new tech as limited by your license privileges. Jump straight unless you drive. Oh, that is an excellent point. Yes, unless you're going to jump straight to general, don't buy the 891. There ain't nothing you can do. Well, I take that back. You have very a very small, what is it? You have 200 kilocycles of bandwidth on 10 meters. That's it. So that old 891 is not going to do you anything. That's a very, very good point. N3WER says no 6 meters or above. Yeah. So again, if you're not going to get your general yet and you're just going to start with technician, you can't do that. This radio is going to do you no good because there's no VHF, there's no UHF, and all you'll have, the only thing you'll be able to do with that radio is 200 kilohertz. That's it. That'd be a gigantic waste of money if you ask me. But if you're going to go to general, by all means, go for it. 20 folks in the house watching on YouTube. We got 5 watching on Facebook. Oh, I see who's watching on Facebook. That's cool. Appreciate you guys being here, hanging out on Friday night. So what about the G90? Okay, G90 is a much cheaper option, but the problem with that, again, these are HF radios. You need to get away from HF unless you're getting your general. There's just nothing you can do with them, minus those 200 kilohertz on 10 meters. You need to stay away from HF. Blind says, I shouldn't say that. Sorry. Adventuresome Bond Videography says, for text, get yourself a fine HT or a good mobile, preferably 50 watts. HT is a handy talkie. Yes, he's exactly right. This right here is a handy talkie. This is about a $200 handy talkie, but it's a God, why am I running blank? 878, Anytone 878. This does DMR and analog. This, however, is a $20 Baofeng K5 and does great. It's analog only though, but it'll do GMRS and it'll do ham. I love this little K5. It's a fun little radio. Of the Baofeng radios, it's the easiest to work with, if you ask me. I've got in the truck my Icon 52A. That's about a $600 HT. So you just got to plan your budget out right. Problem with HTs are typically only 5 watts. So they're not going to get you very far. A mobile rig, like the 5100, the FTM 200, 300, 400, 500, those will get you 50 watts. And 50 watts will go some distance. For a home antenna, I would recommend a J-pole. Copper J-poles are easy to make. You just need the measurements for them and some copper pipe, and you're good to go. You can also do vertical antennas. Those are easy to find at Hamfest. If you're going to be at Dayton, they'll have the Tower Electronics will be there. They'll have them. Ooks will probably have them. There'll be tons out there. Adventure says Yaesu VX6R, small military grade build. Submersible dual band 2 meters, 70 centimeters, very, very small battery. Still a good one, 5 watts. They are great. The VX6R is a great radio. I've actually seen a friend of mine field test that submersible, and absolutely they work great after being dunked in the water. Also says somewhere around $150. Yeah, they're affordable too. Within the Yaesu line of radios, they're certainly affordable. That didn't feel good. I just popped my lip here, and that's where I had the surgery on Wednesday. So, yeah, it didn't feel too good. It's not too bad, though. Yeah, so WTF says you want to look for VHF and UHF radios. Absolutely. And if you want to talk long distance and don't really care about the internet possibly being a crutch on that, get you an Anytone 878. which I work with. Bridgecom Systems too. We've got a link down in the description for them. They sell the Anytone 878, and they'll pre-program it for you too. DMR is great. It's a little bit more complicated to program, but you can talk all over the world pretty easily. Nothing else to it. RT McKinney said, and W5T or RTM's in the house. Thanks for being here. Don't forget about spurious submissions with some of the Baofeng radios. Make sure you read your reviews and ask some folks that are experienced in the hobby about Baofengs. Yes, Baofengs may be cheap, but yes, they do offer some spurious admissions. You'll want to, one of the things that you'll want to do if you happen to pick up some radios at the Hamfest is you want to pull off the battery. And you'll want to look and see if it's got an FCC approval sticker on it, which mine does. It's just worn off. But yeah, you'll want to look at that. If you have an FCC Part 97 device, it shouldn't give you any spurious equipment. Radio says, does the VX6R do C4 FM? I think it does. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it does. Ham Radio Elmer says HF is the way to go. Absolutely, HF is the way to go, but not for a tech. Not for a tech. He's going to have to get his general first. Wanderer says, or Radio says, you and use your phone to talk to local repeaters too. Yeah, Echolink. Echolink's a great thing about being a tech too. I forgot about that. What's going on here? We've got a POTA station. If that POTA station comes back by next time around, we'll try to grab him. Adventure says VX6R does not do Fusion C4 FM. Thank you for that clarification. I wasn't sure. Echolink and All-Star. Matter of fact, I was talking to somebody about All-Star the other day, or earlier tonight. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know jack about All-Star. That is the one mode that I don't know anything about. So we've got an All-Star expert that may be coming on and doing a show with me on that. We've got Ukraine here, UT7KF. I am a VE, hit me up. Sure. Absolutely. Well, this guy's not even a tech yet. So we got to walk before, we got to crawl before we can walk, and we got to walk before we can run. Radio says, thanks for the info, Adventures. Got 22 of you watching. Appreciate y'all joining. Hoping y'all are having a good evening. We're just sitting here talking a bunch of radio, talking shop, and talking about Dayton. All kinds of good stuff coming up here. Go ahead and go back here. Turn it back on. Radio says I have a little video about using it on Androids. I think it's supposed to be Androids. Adventure says Yaesu FT70 does do C4 FM. It's about the same price, maybe a little more. Ham Radio Elmer says, I think I'm a runner. Yep, you probably are. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Let me tell y'all, I got my technician in January 2010. Got my general in May of 2010. I didn't get my extra until I think I passed the test in April of 23 and didn't get the license until May of 23, I think, if I'm remembering that correctly. It's doable, but let's just be real about it. It took me 13 years to go from general to extra, and that's nobody's fault but my own. I was not playing in HF. I'm relatively new to HF. I just didn't have any interest in it. And then I got my first HF rig, the FT991, and got tired of people telling me I was out of band. So I went ahead and jumped up, got my extra. Let's see here. Adventure says, I got my Tech in 96, General in 96, and Advanced and Extra in 97. For those of you that are new to the hobby, or maybe just thinking about getting in the hobby, there used to be another license class that was between General and Extra. It's called Advanced class. It is now extinct. They don't offer it anymore. There are some people that still have it, though. All-Star is like Echolink, but better audio. You can link nodes using DTMF tones. That's where I'm lost, is this node stuff. I mean, yeah, we have nodes with the Spec 5 station. Or the Spec 5 stuff, we have nodes, but I need to understand more nodes. You know what I mean? And I know they're Echolink nodes. I'm one of these, kind of like with ham radio prep, I'm one of these that I need to know how things work. There's another Ukrainian station, UT8 November Tango. I need to know how things work, and that's just part of it. Let's see here. We've got Andrew. You are my most contacted station logbook. Let me tell you something about Andrew. If you're on TikTok, go check him out. That Medic Drew. Or is that Medic Andrew? One or the other. Go check out his stuff. He does 3D printing. He's printing up some cool stuff. I mean, beyond cool stuff. And he's not wrong. I am his most contacted station. We used to work together doing the 25 days of QRZ every year. So we do have a lot of contacts. We would just start on one end of the spectrum and go to the other and get our contacts in. But yeah, go check him out. That Medic Drew on YouTube or on TikTok. Really cool stuff. I think me and him are working on some stuff together, so stay tuned for that. Adventure says Army Mars from 1998 to 2001, and Mars is Military Auxiliary Radio Service. Some of you may hear the term Mars Mod, and Mars Mod is where that comes from. And what that basically does is it unlocks the radio for you. So a lot of, especially the American big time models like Yaesu, ICOM, Kenwood, those they restrict you from being out of band and transmitting. A Mars mod will eliminate that. Adventure says an All-Star node is a little device that uses Raspberry Pi connected to either a hat or an external device. X connects your radio using VoIP and internet. There's where I'm lost again. I know nothing about Raspberry Pis. Nothing. It's similar thoughts with nodes. Got it. Wanderer says, I'm wanting to also put ham in my big truck I drive over the road so I have mobile on a base. All right. You want me to give you a recommendation on a radio to buy? First off, I need to know what you're going to do. Are you going for general, or are you going to stick with the basic tech for now? Or are you going to go for the trifecta and get the extra? If you're going to get your general, that'll change the conversation a little bit. If you're just getting your technician, that'll take us in one other direction. Andrew says, those are fun times. Yes, we are. I need to borrow your OS4 for a day. Oh, my OpenSpot 4. Got it. Yep, you can do that. Radio says, he doesn't cough, I promise you that. I am in no way an expert in All-Star, but one of my Elmers is. Awesome. Adventure says blind hams were using All-Star for much longer than most modern hams. The sound is incredible compared to other digital voice modes. And we gotta get you unlost. LOL, yes. Okay, tech for now. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna recommend you. This is my recommendation, and everybody else in the chat's going to jump in here and give you a recommendation. Spend a little money, especially if you're over the road. Okay, if you're going to be an over-the-road driver. Spend a little money and get this. This is the ICOM ID52. And it's dual band, 2 at a time. You can monitor both sides of the radio at one time. It also has crossband repeat. I don't expect you to know what crossband repeat is, but it's like a little built-in repeater that you can use in your truck or something. But there's two volume knobs, 2 squelches, both sides. Volume squelch, 2 VFO knobs, touch screen. I mean, this is your most utilitarian radio there is. It does everything with the exception of DMR and Yaesu System Fusion and M17. This thing does D-Star. It does analog. It's a workhorse. It's phenomenal. Now, if you're not familiar with D-Star, D-Star is ICOM and Kidwood's answer to digital voice, right? So how that works is it's basically, they call them reflectors. It's basically repeaters all over the world that are internet linked. And a lot of times you can get a repeater in your local area. These 5100s actually have GPS built in them. And you can program the radio that you can hit DR mode, and it'll find whatever repeater's close to you, whether it's analog or VHF. Analog or D-Star. So it don't matter where you are in the country. You can find a radio just like that without even opening a repeater book. These radios are a little pricey though, but they do fantastic. Let's take a look. ICOM 70 100. It's not bad. $479, $500 after tax, and especially if you're going to go over the road with it, this is phenomenal. Phenomenal. And I don't need to tell you about antennas, but make sure you get the right antenna for this. Don't get a 10 meter or an 11 meter CB antenna. That ain't going to cut it. You need a 2 meter dual band VHF UHF antenna for this. Otherwise, you're going to blow the SWR through the roof. So don't do that. Andrew says, I'm right about the ICOM. Damn right I'm right about the ICOM. Sorry. I had to gloat a little bit. Adventure says, I agree with Josh. Get an ICOM. Radio says, ICOM IC 5100 is mine. And that's mine. That's not yours. If I had to do it again, I would. You can program it with an SD card too. Absolutely, you can. Also, the ICOM 50, it's a little cheaper than the 5200 or the 52, but very similar. The big difference is color screen. That's really about the only difference between the two radios. Andrew says, and he is not affiliated with ICOM, just loves their radios. Actually, that is true. I may have a lot of affiliates, but I am not affiliated with ICOM whatsoever. Ray Novak, if you're listening to this, I'd love to be affiliated with you. Oh, that's not going to happen. They don't affiliate with anybody. But they don't even sell their radios direct. You have to buy them through a vendor, like DXE or HRO or something like that. Goodness gracious, I'm tired. Lord, I've been sitting here with my flashlight on all night. Ain't no wonder my phone's about to go dead. Just making sure I'm not missing anything here. I love how Greg's got the super secret squirrel line here. Oh, let's see here. 30 meters is getting quiet on me. Andrew said, by the way, y'all, Andrew is the president of the Smoky Mountain Amateur Radio Club. He is N2AL. He's the man. If y'all ever watch any of our club meetings, which sometimes I show the program for the Smoky Mountain Amateur Radio Club, he's the man. He's the man with the plan. He actually succeeded me as president. So I had some things come up and I had to step aside, so he stepped in and does a fantastic job. Says he's tired too, jumping off of here, going to work tonight. I got to be back on duty in the morning, 73s. Well, thanks for what you do, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he is the ambulance man. Hence the TikTok name that medic Drew. He's a paramedic, so works hard. We appreciate what he does for our area. Y'all are getting quiet. Y'all are rapid firing. Here goes WA2HIP again. Y'all are rapid firing stuff in this chat, and then all of a sudden you just go silent. Adventures is back. Wake up. No, I don't think so. Actually, I'm probably going to sit here for another 10, 15 minutes, and we're going to call it a night. Huh. Just saw a breaking news alert come across. Well, we picked up a few subscribers here tonight. Not a lot, but a few. 7162. That brings the countdown to 10,000 to 2,838 subscribers. It's going to take some time, but we're going to get there. I'm telling you, we're going to get there. We're going to get there someday. Let's go here and here. So, let's see here. What else is up? Had almost 200 viewers on this live stream. That's pretty good. That's a good live stream. All right, let's see here. Wanderer says, I've been driving truck over the road for 25 years, have an RCI 99 N4 with max power. With the amp on, it does about 600 watts. Don't say that. Don't say that. I'm taking that off the screen. It's actually illegal. At least I think it's illegal. I have to go back and look at the rules on that, but I feel like I read that there's a limit on CB nowadays. Ergo. Adventure says you're in East Tennessee, so you're an hour ahead of me. Yep, I am. Man, I need more coffee. Well, I'd love a Coca-Cola right now, but I can't really drink Coca-Cola. I was told to stay away from the carbonated beverages till this heals up a little bit. Ugh. I ain't gonna make it much longer, y'all. Norway. So we talked a lot about Dayton tonight. Other stops that are going to be on the Ham Shack tour, or Ham Shack TV Hamfest tour, fueled by Ham Radio Prep and World Radio League. In June 21st, we're going to be at the Knoxville, Tennessee Hamfest. And then we'll wrap it up in August at the Huntsville Hamfest. So halfway through the tour so far. A lot of people have asked me about Orlando. And I don't know about Orlando. Of course, Orlando's already come and gone this year. But I don't know. I'd like to. Here's the thing, though. Orlando's expensive. Orlando's not a drive for me. It's a flight. Yeah, Orlando is a flight for me. What the heck is this junk? Junk mail. So I got to pay for flight. Got to pay for a hotel. Probably got to pay for rental car. Got to pay for food and expenses. It's got to be profitable for me, y'all, or at least break even for me to do Orlando. So we'll see. That's still 10 months away. We'll see. Venture said made a pot of coffee. Wanderer made more coffee, or is getting coffee. FT8's putting to sleep. Me too. Get you some coffee. I'm gonna call it a night. 7-3, y'all. Yep, I think I'm still the direction I'm going to go in a minute. It's been a great stream, though. Consistently had 20 in here, just hanging out. Probably sit for another 5 minutes and see what else we get. When I lived in Birmingham, I used to go to Huntsville Hamfest and the much smaller Birmingham Fest. I've heard Birmingham's kind of small. You know what also is small? The Chattanooga Hamfest. I don't know if you've ever been to that one. I've heard stories that the Chattanooga Ham Fest was huge at one point, and then it kind of has faded. I went to the Chattanooga Ham Fest this year, or this past year. I think it was in October, and I was disappointed in it. One small building like a church gymnasium and a parking lot with maybe 6 cars in it. I was just extremely disappointed in it. Adventure says I'm typing on a tiny braille keyboard and my hands getting tired. JJD or JJD 1913 says hello from Southeast Ohio. Hopefully we'll see you at Dayton here in a couple weeks. Wanderer says, oh, the Dayton Hamvention is held in Xenia. I didn't know if you knew that. Yeah, I knew that. I just don't really say it because everybody knows it as Dayton. But yes, you're right. It's Xenia. I will be staying in Fairborn, right there close to the Air Force Base. Alright, we got our Norway station here. Lima Alpha 6, Oscar Charlie Alpha. That's kind of cool. So we've been talking all around the world tonight, y'all. It's the beauty of ham radio. Adventure says we're slowly losing everybody. Not really. We're still maintaining. Got nobody watching on Facebook, 18 watching on YouTube, so not quite. Since Horror Arena closed, where they used to hold it. I'm not familiar with that. That's what ham radio was all about. You're right. Andy Callie's in the house, says hi all. Oh, Andy, appreciate you being here. Guys, if you're new here, appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. It certainly helps the channel. If you feel like monetarily supporting the channel, we've got affiliate links down in the description. Lido radio mounts. We've got Spec 5 Mesh-tastic stuff. Amazon. We've got ham radio prep. All that good stuff down in the description. Please feel free to use any of those links if you're needing any kinds of products or anything. Or if you just want to throw a tip in the old tip jar, we've got the super chats available down next to the chat box, as well as the join membership button there next to the subscribe button. Appreciate everybody being here. If you, especially if you feel so inclined to give to the mix here. Adventure says hi, Andy, and David's in the house. David Weichert, K4DKW, local ham. Y'all have seen him in some of my videos. He bombed me. Where did you bomb me? Is it Dalton? That's where it was. Everybody go check out the Dalton Hamfest video. You'll see David Zoom bomb me. Or not Zoom bomb me, but video bomb me. Good to hear me on here tonight, not Skywarn Net. I was afraid we were going to end up having a Skywarn Net. Those of you that aren't local here, I'm also the District 5 Assistant Coordinator here for Skywarn. So if we got weather, I'm not going to be streaming it. I'm going to be online, or on the air, calling a net typically. Wanderer says Horror Arena in Dayton closed its doors in 2016 after operating for 60 years. The building was later demolished in 2020 after sustaining damage from the 2019 Dayton area tornadoes. Interesting. I didn't know that. Alright, y'all, I'm going to let this go for another couple of CQs, and then I'm going to call it. Miss Tommy here. Sorry, Tommy. Great stream, Josh. Been watching all your videos for about a month now, studying for tech, soon to test. Great job, Tommy. If you haven't already, make sure you're using ham radio prep. I think that'll... they're going to give you your money back if you don't pass it. So, check out the ham radio prep. All that's down in the description. I'm finding a bunch of mail from months and months back. It's crazy. David says, and Sevierville. Maybe it was the Sevierville Hamfest I'm thinking of. Adventure says, I'm going to go QRT. Josh, thanks so much for letting me participate in Love Channel 73's all. Thank you, Adventures. Always a pleasure to have you in the house with us here. I got November 7 TES on the hook here. Minus 16 for him, and I got a +2 from him. So fantastic. We're going to go ahead and halt TX on that and call it a night. We've had some great QSOs. Let's see. How many have we worked here? Let's see here. I don't know what that is, but that's a pretty good amount. We'll look at QRZ. That'll tell us. That's the only thing about ham radio deluxe I don't like. It doesn't number these. So we've worked 35 contacts since we've been here, so not bad for a few hours. Not bad at all. Let's see here. Tommy B says, I'm using ham radio prep. Good man. Good man. Well, good luck. Guys, that's going to be about it for this. Y'all don't want to see it. You want to see me. That's going to be about it for this episode, y'all. Appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate all the support y'all have been giving Ham Radio, Ham Shack TV. Lord have mercy, I'm tired. Means a lot. You know, when I started this channel back around Huntsville last year, I'd never thought it was going to grow like this, or at least not this fast. But we're getting there. Remember, the HF Radio giveaway is on. You got to do three things in order to qualify for the HF Radio giveaway. One, you have to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I think all of y'all have already done that. But if you haven't, right here, there's a button down there somewhere. Hit that subscribe button. Certainly helps. Second, you have to join the Discord. HamShackTV.com will show you how to do that. Pull up your favorite web browser. Go to HamShackTV.com. Got two buttons there. One's to visit the YouTube channel. The other one's to join the Discord. Click the join the Discord. It'll take you straight to the Discord community. Follow those instructions. Third thing you have to do. Oops. Y'all aren't even seeing this. God, I'm tired. YouTube channel, Discord. Click that. It'll take you where you need to go. Click that. Will take you where you need to go. Just make sure you subscribe and join the Discord. Third thing you need to do is subscribe to the email list. You'll go same website. Go to HamShackTV.com. Scroll down right under this ugly mug of me at the Santa Monica Pier in California. You'll see a box to sign up for the newsletter. Type in your email address and hit subscribe. I don't sell your information, so it's all safe. And you won't get spammed by me. You might get one email a week at the most from me. We'll give you just some information on what's new, what's coming up on the channel, all that kind of stuff. And that's all you got to do. Other rules, you have to be 18. You have to be a United States citizen. You have to be a licensed ham radio operator. Since this is an HF radio, that with great power comes great responsibility. So I'm going to require you to have an amateur radio license for that. I don't know what HF radio I'm giving away yet, but we will do it. And you have to be entered to win. You have to do all three steps to enter to win. Right now, there are, I'll tell you how many people have signed up for the email list. There are 66 people subscribed to the email list. So right now, you have a 1 in 66 chance of winning this radio. Sign up for the email list. And, yeah. Don't know how many other videos we're going to do for the week, the rest of the weekend, but we will keep an eye on the news. I'll read through the news and see if there's anything we need to cover. But, you know, guys, it's great to have you here. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate you hanging out with me on a Friday night. We're going to go horizontal. Go QRT. 73, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. A4WX WSCB 693.